For this video, we will be going over practicing creating our one-point perspective and including this wardrobe chest into what we already have started. How to place that piece of furniture that sits at the back of our focal point wall at the center of our vanishing point. Remember, these items on this wall will appear as though they're an elevation view, even though it's on a one-point perspective, because they're on that back wall here where everything is where we begin to take our measurements from. We will show the top just as we did with our table in the previous video of how to include that top to that table. But let's just talk about how to get this wardrobe chest started or outlined. Some things that we need to know are already happening on this floor plan that we have in front of us. We know that the chest starts on the right, from the right wall, 3 feet in, and then again on the left side, 4 feet in. We know that it is a 60-inch by 24-inch wardrobe chest. And our information has told us that it stands 5 feet tall, and that 5 feet is before you add your legs. So taking that out of the way, what I've begun to do is I have my perspective started in front of me, but before I put my chest on my sheet as a concrete indefinite image, I'm just going to use this piece of trace or trash paper to kind of lay it over on top of it, as we've learned, to kind of do our sketch or our pre-outline, just to check our measurements and see what our image is supposed to appear like. Having this trace paper is a key element in drafting, because you can always use this as a practice sheet before you make anything definite. So let's go ahead and begin. I have my scale off to the side just because, but I also have my scale written as we did on our actual perspective as a guide. Again, we know that from the right side, our chest begins 3 feet in. So if I measure over 3 feet, just going to make a mark. And then on the left side, I'm going to measure into that 4-foot mark. What I like to do is go ahead and draw in me some guidelines to where I know my dresser or my chest starts and stops as far as its width. So we have those drawn in. There also was some spacing in back of your chest so that it wasn't sitting directly on the wall. What you're going to find in this particular drawing is that something was done intentionally so that we know that you took your measurement correctly. So I'm going to ask that we give this a 3-inch spacing off your back wall as seen here on the drawing. So to get that 3-inch spacing and then the 24-inch deep, so we'll know where the dresser starts or the chest starts and stops or how far it comes out into our flooring area, we're going to measure things from off of the right side of the wall. So I'm going to take my 1/2-inch scale, as you can see here, and line this up on the corner where the walls meet at 3 inches. So I'm on my 3-inch mark here, and I can go ahead and mark it at the 0. So 3 inches from here to here. And then we know that our chest is 24 inches deep. So it's going to sit on this wall, or if you're looking from the side of this wall, 24 inches out into the floor. So we're going to measure over to our 2-foot mark. And here's what I was talking about. As you can see, it does obstruct the window. But again, this was done intentionally just to be sure that you are taking that measurement correctly. So I'm just going to simply just draw a guideline down. These lines will just be here. We're not using them to pull anything into our vanishing point. They're just here to let me know how far this chest goes into the flooring in front of us. Because I brought my 2-foot mark down to the edge there of the wall, I can now take my parallel bar and draw a horizontal line, because I know this is where it stops on our main floor. So we can go ahead and erase the lines that extend down because we no longer need them. And yes, you can trace with your trash paper. You just still want to be lightly so it doesn't tear. At this point, we're going to measure our height. Again, our directions told us that our chest stood 5 feet high, 5 feet tall. So we're just placing the 0 at the very bottom, and then we're going to measure up to 5 feet. Drawing our top on there. Now we have an outline for our chest. Again, you can clean up your drawing. Even though it is trash paper, I still like to make sure that my space is nice and clean. Lines that I don't need are out of the way. So here you have the outline for your chest. At this time, now you can do as we did on the previous video with the top of our chest, table, the same thing. We're going to do the exact same thing. You can also include in any type of design element to scale to add in your legs to your chest or the back legs seen. Whatever grand design that you want, you can put the chest. This is a wardrobe chest, so possibly there is a side that has an opening. Again, you can just use your scale that you have penciled in lightly on your actual perspective drawing, or you can just place your 1/2 inch scale and take any measurements to what you know a wardrobe chest is or sizes in which you choose to have. And I'm just doodling. I'm not taking actual measurements at this time, but I kind of have an idea. I'm looking at my scale here. Of how I wanted my wardrobe chest set up. Again, remember, you're looking right at it standing from the center of the room. So again, it appears as an elevation image. And remember how we did our table. You will be doing the same thing to make that view. Oh, to fix that. For the top half of your chest. Once you have this in and you already have it on your trace paper, you now can walk yourself through, make any changes or any design changes, and then you're ready. If you approve of it, now you're ready to put it on your actual perspective drawing. I hope that this video will help you all move through getting this piece of furniture on your perspective drawing. Again, remember, things on the back wall are items that appear to be elevation views. So they appear flat. You will provide some depth when you're adding in your tops, because it still looks as though this dresser is sitting back and you've taken up this spacing of that 24 inch or 2 feet deep chest piece. Again, just add little elements or details that you think you have for your wardrobe chest. Maybe I should have made those even, right? I think we're good to go here.